Okay, and this is where it gets confusing. The advance directive does two things. It's a white paper. It appoints your healthcare representative. That's the person who can't make your healthcare decisions, or who will make your healthcare decisions if you can't. It also deals with those end-of-life decisions, close to death, advanced progressive illness, extraordinary suffering. In other words, death is imminent. It's a matter of minutes, hours, days. And so in that situation, you have the right on the form to decide whether you want tube feeding or life support, or whether you just want to say, look, just let me go. So that deals, the advance directive deals with the appointment of your healthcare representative, and then your basically end-of-life decisions with regarding to staying on life support or tube feeding. The POLST, and you've all seen it, if you go into a retirement home, any one of them, they're going to, as part of your admission in there, if you're competent, they're going to have you execute that hot pink one that's always hanging on the refrigerator with the magnet. That's the do not resuscitate one. I can't do that. A doctor has to issue that. You have to meet with your doctor, and the doctor will authorize that. And you actually make a selection in your POLST about whether you want to be resuscitated, kind of under what conditions. Usually, you know, if it's the first go around, I know I want to be resuscitated after the first one. I have in my family, he had gone down 3 times, and he had a POLST, and he had an advance directive. And they show up at the house, and he had gone down again. The POLST is there. I did the advance directive, right? He doesn't want to live anymore. And so the paramedics come in, and they look at my aunt, and they say, what do you want to do? Here's a POLST, here's an advance directive. And she goes, do it, resuscitate him. And they did. So sometimes the paperwork doesn't mean that much. The paramedics are there to save lives. They're not there to end life. But at any rate, that's the POLST, that's the do not resuscitate document, that's the hot pink one. The other thing that we talk about is Oregon is the premier state for the Death with Dignity Act, or the right to die. It's an option. There are 2 movies out there that deal, well, one that deals with the right to die, and it's called How to Die in Oregon. And they showcase 3 or 4 families in that one through the process, and the Compassion and Choices group, how that goes down. So if anybody has any questions about the right to die in Oregon, I suggest you watch the movie How to Die in Oregon. It's an excellent movie. Whether you're for it or against it, it's just great information. It's awesome. So all you have to do is get the 2 doctors have to sign off that you're terminal. But the thing is that you have to be able to take it yourself, even out of a straw. Nobody can administer it. Nobody can hold it up to your mouth and do that. You actually have to be able to administer it to yourself. The movie is How to Die in Oregon.